Hey everybody, my name is Ashley Rush and I'm an independent creative memories advisor located in North Carolina. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about laser papers. This was something I brought up in a video a couple weeks ago when I was doing a project recipe, and a lot of you had never heard of laser papers. So what are they? These are a pack that Creative Memories sells. They usually come in packs of 3. So this is our most recent one. It's Deep in the Woods, and it's a thick paper, almost cardstock like, and it has been oh, that looks kind of cool. It has been cut out using lasers. So they have different designs. They usually have some sort of photo opening and then a design into the background to make it look intricate. You can use them in a variety of ways. They are intended to be used layered over top of a background. So like a piece of cardstock or a piece of designer paper to make a page. So I'm going to show you guys a couple different ways to use them. I think I'm going to do 3. So the first will be just straight up, using it over top of a solid background. And then I'm going to show you guys how to cut it in half, which is actually kind of what I did the week before. And make a background for a 2-page spread. And then I'm going to show you how to sort of cut them apart so that you can turn them into embellishments or laser mats or whatever you like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to use these laser papers, what I'm calling straight up. When you get a package, they come in a package of 3 and they're double-sided. So here's our old Christmas Spirit laser paper pack. I'm gonna use the one that has ornaments on it. As you can see, it's very decorative, it's multicolored. When you flip to the other side, the older ones were a little more monochromatic on the opposite side. The newer ones have changed just a little bit. So in order to use these laser papers, first you're going to need a base, obviously, because they're see-through. So I'm just going to use a piece of cardstock. I'm using cardstock. You can also use decorative paper. So I'm just going to layer that at the bottom. And honestly, like, you could be finished right here. These openings are great for titles and journaling. You can throw photos in there. These are roughly 4-inch holes. So I went ahead and cut some 4-inch circles. And before you adhere your laser paper down, you would want to put your photos or papers or mats underneath. So let's pretend that's a photo here. Can sort of adjust it. Now here, this is my journaling box. And then I'll have my, let's say my title. Once you have everything in place, that's when you would come back with your tape runner and adhere everything down. They're that simple to use. And the great thing about these laser papers is that they're so decorative, you don't really need anything else. You don't need embellishments, you don't need stickers. They complete the page automatically. Now, if you're like me, you are more of a 2-page spread kind of girl. So I'm gonna move this aside. And I'm gonna pull back out this sample that I did the previous week. Here's where I showed using the laser paper from our Deep into the Woods, not Into the Woods. I took one of our Deep in the Woods papers and I cut them in half and spread it across 2 pages. This is something you can do with lots of our designs, especially the ones that are more plain or symmetrical. So I've got some of our bronze shimmer paper here that I'm going to pull out. And then these are the laser papers from our National Scrapbook Day 2021 kit. As you can see, they look really beautiful on the pages by themselves, but to me, this is not enough of a 2-page spread. You can flip them over and mix and match, and although that does look pretty good, I just want something a little different. So earlier I showed you how to cut a paper and put it on opposite ends. Let's experiment with cutting a paper and then putting it right in the middle. So I'm gonna pull out my trimmer. And then I've got my laser paper. First I need to measure it. So let's see. At its widest, it's about 11.5 inches. That looks good to me. So I'm gonna put this on my trimmer. And let's see, 11.5 is what, 5 3/4? So I just need to, I'm gonna pull this out to help. Let's see, so 5 3/4, if this is 6, this is 5 3/4 here. All right, and now I can take my roughly cut in half laser paper, and I can spread it across a 2-page spread. So if you start by sort of joining it together, lining it up this way, then you can sort of pull it apart. And now I have a really nice sort of decorative middle. Maybe I do my journaling down here, my titling, and I've got plenty of places to put photos here on the sides. So that is cutting your laser papers in half. So we have here what you're using the middles. And then my last week's sample, we can put it together using the middle, or switch it around. And these ones were cut off center. So I believe I have 4 inches on this side and 8 inches on this side. So that really gives you a nice different balance to your page. So that's cutting it to use it more, again, as a background piece. Now, one of our Deep in the Woods papers was really interesting. I really loved, these have been my favorite laser papers we have come out to date. The nice thing is that they're like dual colored on both sides depending upon your look. So here we've got more of like a birch tree type look, maybe a little more fallish. And then here we've got, you know, the healthy dark brown trees. Now, I look at these and again, I'm thinking this would be really cool cut apart. And I'm thinking you could totally take this section off and separate it from this section. So to do that, you just need to measure where you want to cut. I'm assuming that this is about 4.5 inches. Yes, I'm right, because that is our typical mat size. So I'm gonna bring my trimmer out again, and I'm gonna line up at 4.5 inches. So there's 4, there's half. Now, I'm gonna cut this at the 4.5 inch, definitely. I'm gonna squeeze it over just a little. Got that dotted line here to use as a guide. But when I get down here, I'm gonna stop because I wanna preserve this tree branch. I don't know if you guys can see it right now. There. I wanna preserve this, this leaf, and I don't want it to only like partial leaf to stay attached to this other frame. So I'm gonna cut to here, I'm gonna stop, and then I'm gonna cut this separately. Alright, so I've done the first bit. I'm just gonna slide this over. Oops, I forgot to get this part here. So put that back at the 4.5. All right, so it's not perfect. You can go back through and make any trimmings you need to do. So I'll just do that with, free-handed with some scissors. Let's see, start there. Make that a little more even. And take this little guy off. Now, how cute does this piece look on its own as a, a freestanding trunk as an embellishment or mat instead of an entire background? Or even this one. I mean, both sides look super cute. So this is what I mean. I envision some sort of background, then throwing your tree out there, maybe on the side, and then just putting, a couple pictures here, and then this would make a great title page, like My Family Tree or Our Fall Adventure, making this the sort of title block. And this looks more like a photo mat as opposed to a background page. In fact, it looks like it's supposed to be on the page just like that. We can experiment with using the other half. This guy also looks really cool. You can cheat him to one side or the other. Honestly, this is, like I said, my favorite laser paper that we have had for all of CM. All right, guys, so what was your favorite way to use the laser papers? For me, I absolutely cannot wait to use the one that I cut apart. And I don't even necessarily think I'm gonna use them on opposite pages. I'm gonna use them as embellishments on two totally different spreads. And I love it. I'm gonna go buy more just so I can get this one sheet of laser paper. Is this something you guys are going to be adding to your wish list? Are you going to want to try them? Again, Creative Memories has several different to choose from. I encourage you to reach out to your advisor and ask her what she has available, because we may have some in stock from, years past that we haven't unloaded yet. If you do not have an advisor, I would love to be that person for you. Make sure you guys reach out. I also have all of my links down in the description. I can't wait to see you guys again next week. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it. And if you never want to miss a video, hit that bell as well. See y'all next week. Bye.